So yeah, the news is out. Netflix has opened up an animation studio. They're doing their animation in-house. And they got great talent. They got Craig McCracken, Jorge Gutierrez, and Alex Hirsch. And if you're an animation fan, you already know who these people are, but I'll just say what they've made in the past. Craig McCracken, he made the Powerpuff Girls and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends and Wander Over Yonder. And I watched those shows during my childhood. And then there's Jorge Gutierrez, who made El Tigre in the Book of Life, which I have not seen. I've seen El Tigre. Then there's Alex Hirsch, who made Gravity Falls. Anyway, it's just, I think it's awesome Netflix picked up this talent, that they got these guys to make cartoons. These animators have been mistreated by Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and Disney. I mean, not all. Alex Hirsch, Disney was just begging to come back. They were begging him, but Alex Hirsch, he just left for Netflix, which is smart. Disney did not treat Craig McCracken very well. They canceled Wander Over Yonder. And Jorge Gutierrez, they canceled El Tigre after 26 episodes. Like, they haven't been treated well by the networks they work for, but now they're at Netflix, where they have full creative control. Anyway, I'll go ahead and just say what shows they're working on. Jorge Gutierrez is working on My End the 3. And it's set in a mythical Mesoamerican world. A warrior princess embarks on a quest to recruit these legendary fighters to help save the world of men and gods. And it's also got Jeff Ranjo, a writer for Moana, at the head of the story. So they got Pixar, they got Disney people. They got Disney people working on their shows and movies. Then there's My Father's Dragon, which is by the director of The Secret of Kells and The Breadwinner, Nora Twomey. And the film is going to be written by Meg Lefave, who wrote Inside Out and The Good Dinosaur. So they got Disney and Pixar people. Yeah, they got a lot of good talent working on these shows. Like, they just left Disney, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, all these networks for Netflix, which is interesting, you know? Like, I imagine, maybe they'd stay at those companies, but no, they decided to go to Netflix. And Netflix definitely needs talent, because, they spend a lot of money on shows. And, they must have paid these animators a lot. And I think it'll all be worth it, but none of these shows are coming out yet. They're coming out either next year or in 2 years. But yeah, Netflix has a lot of animated projects in the works. Not gonna go over all of them, just the ones I find interesting. So I talked about My End the 3. I talked about, okay, this one I'm hyped for, Kid Cosmic. It's not coming out until 2020, but it's by Craig McCracken. It's a show about a boy who becomes a superhero after he finds some cosmic stones. And yeah, and he sucks at being a hero, which sounds interesting. And it has a space theme. This sounds like a spiritual successor to Wander Over Yonder. I'm just looking forward to these shows and movies. And Alex Hirsch, as far as Alex Hirsch goes, that hasn't been a project that's announced officially yet. But he did say that he wanted to work on an adult animated show. So I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, Netflix has had a great track record with animation. BoJack Horseman, Disenchantment, and there's a bunch of other shows I haven't watched, like Hilda. I've heard that's good. I've only seen season 1 of Voltron. I'm super behind, but I heard that's really good. The Dragon Prince recently came out, but like Voltron, it's made by people who wrote Avatar, The Last Airbender. I think Voltron had Legend of Korra writers, but yeah, Netflix has a lot of good animation. And now they're making their own cartoons. I mean, what Netflix used to do is pay DreamWorks a lot of money for them to make shows. Like, DreamWorks just dumped a bunch of shows on Netflix, like Boss Baby Back in Business, which is the best show ever. It's so good. Boss Baby Back in Business. You need to watch it right now. Close this video and watch it right. I'm joking. There are 2 seasons of this show so far. They're just dumping all these shows on Netflix, which I don't have a problem with, but I'm just glad Netflix is making original stuff now. Instead of, just taking already established properties. Like the DreamWorks movies. Like, every DreamWorks movie has had a Netflix show at this point, except for Megamind. Anyway, yeah. I just think it's great Netflix has this talent. They got Craig McCracken, Jorge Gutierrez, and Alex Hirsch. But also they have James Baxter, who's a character animator for Disney. And if you think if that name sounds familiar, that's because Adventure Time had a horse named James Baxter in an episode. And the horse was voiced by James Baxter. And I think he animated him as well. But yeah, I think that's, James Baxter. This legend, he's working at Netflix, which is great. That's cool. I had no idea that James Baxter was based on a legendary animator from Disney. Anyway, Netflix got a lot of great talent. I'm hyped. I'm looking forward to Kid Cosmic, Maya and the Three, and whatever Alex Hirsch has planned. I'm just glad they're getting creative control, that they can make these shows without network interference. The shows won't get canceled. They won't get screwed over by the network. Netflix just sounds really serious about animation, and I'm glad. Anyway, this has been ShadeX, and thanks for watching.